in prime time here at SoFi Stadium. It's Week 5 of the National Football League and a matchup of 3-1 teams. The Rams' first division contest against the San Francisco 49ers. It is the Rams' LA Bowl game. We celebrate everything that we love about living in and working in Los Angeles. You can see we're decked out in some cool gear designed by Mr. Cartoon. It's our LA Bowl collection. You can find it in the equipment room here at SoFi Stadium or online at ramsfanshop.com. I'm going to take a breath. That was a lot of talking by me. Good to see you guys. Here we go on a short week.
You got me laughing. There's not supposed to be any smiles this week. It's Niner week. All this red. Come on, we're supposed to be fired up for this game. Excited for it. I wish we had a full week of rest. I'm glad they're feeling the same thing we're feeling. Can't wait to get on the field and get this thing started.
I'm going to say, given how much the Rams won the injury report by, it was a shame we couldn't play this game last night.
That's
but
right.
Let's start with Puka Nacua, the sensational start that he's been off to. Stu, if you had to summarize his month so far, what would you say?
I would say it's been a complete performance, and you can make the case that he's an early season candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. Run blocking, pass catching, whatever he's being asked to do, he's excelling at a high level. League leader in receptions and receiving yards. There's a lot to like about Puka's game right now and the impact he's made in year 3.
He's blowing the bell curve. You keep reminding yourself he was a 5th-round pick, and he wasn't the first 5th-round pick. That's what I mean. He's just been that good, that great. But I'm glad you pointed that out. In the run game, sometimes he is the tip of the spear. He's the lead blocker going through there, and I think his hands has improved steadily. So he's one of the best receivers. I think he's one of the best all-around players. He's truly one of one.
Even if Brock Purdy were able to play tonight, he's not going to be for San Francisco. LA would have the best quarterback in the building. How about Matthew Stafford through 4 games so far?
He's been unbelievable. I mean, the things he's been able to do, just the moxie he has when he looks off guys, even the ones that are almost picked off are spectacular. He's been great, and I don't think there's anybody since Seabiscuit that closes better than him in the fourth quarter when it matters most. All he has to do is be even with. He's going to try to beat you. It makes game day so much easier when you have a quarterback like that on your side.
Stu, on defense, we know Byron Young is the player of the month. He's been good for a sack a week. He's been sensational. Jared Verse coming off his 2 best performances of 2025. No, it seems like Shula's got a great plan, and I can't wait to see what he does against a depleted Niners offense tonight.
Yeah, this is a defensive front that's been really outstanding, especially the last 2 weeks when you consider some of the running back talent that they've gone up against with the likes of Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley, and now here they have a great challenge again with Christian McCaffrey. And so it's a group that's really done a great job of knowing when their offs are, when those play opportunities are, depending on who gets the attention. And, I've been really impressed with what I've seen from this group so far.
Those Daniel Jones picks last week, they were by no accident. It was Cam Curl's turn, but there's going to be a lot to go around. They keep rushing the opposing quarterback like this.
Oh, absolutely. I just talked with Trent Williams about 5 minutes ago, and guess who he asked me about? Jared Verse. Absolutely. How much does he weigh? I said, I don't know. Is he under 300 pounds? I said, possibly. He goes, there's no way. That guy's got power. He's got strength. Can't wait to play. So if it is an all-out pass rush, you expect him to go against him, and him must beat that guy to win this football game.
You look at the Niners, and here's one way of summarizing the injuries that they're suffering through tonight. We know their quarterback's not going to go. It'll be Jones instead. But in terms of their skill group, no receiver or tight end active tonight caught a pass for this San Francisco team last year. They're going to lean heavily on a former Ram, Demarcus Robinson, among others tonight.
Just gave him a big hug. Told him, congratulations, you're one of my favorite guys, but you must go down hard tonight. But look, they're going to find a way to get the ball out. Their job is to get the ball to McCaffrey and see if they can make hay with that. If not, it's going to have to go somewhere. So if you stop the run and earn the right to rush the passer, I'm not sure where the ball's going, but I know where it's going to start, and you got to get there.
I would add, too, that I think 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan is a creative enough play caller to make it work with the personnel and scheme some things up that despite who they're down, it's going to be something that he'll be able to make it work or do his best to make it work given his
Oh, yeah. He's going to have a plan. Yes.
So you, me, and DeMarco and McCaffrey, he'd be able to get 24 points out of that
we'll see.
grouping?
We'll see.
Maybe mix in a use.
He's going to make something happen. Yes, we just can't. The Rams can't turn the ball over and help him. You just can't do that.
It's not just their offense, though. Without Bosa on the edge, they've been a completely different pass rush, which is to say they've been unable to bother the opposing quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, most recently.
Of all the guys they have out, that's the one that makes me smile the most because I think he does the most damage, and he's the most unblockable one. So, yeah, that's going to be different not having them out there. So make sure you take advantage of it if you have the advantage. If you give Matthew Stafford a chance to survey the field, maybe the ball goes to somebody else other than Puka and Devontae. Maybe Tutu has a big game today.
That being said, despite the absence of Bosa, don't discount Fred Warner's presence. That all pro in the middle and just the way he occupies space and what he's meant to that defense, that's going to be a challenge right there in the middle of the field.
And no Rob Havenstein at right tackle. Warren McClendon's going to be there, so that'll be a big matchup to watch. All right, also be careful to put enough respect on Mac Jones's name. Maybe the career so far, not superlative, not Brock Purdy, but when he's been in there, he's been effective. He's among the NFL's passing leaders on a per-game basis. He won both of his starts filling in.
I don't think he's sneaking up on anybody in a Rams uniform today. I think they're going to give him the respect he deserves. Same respect you gave Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley. Expect him to be at his best. You must get to him. You must get around him.
I know you talked a lot about special teams this week, Stu, with coordinator Chase Blackburn and others. How about the way that Cardi and the kicking unit have been able to flip the team, and how much that contrasts with the special team struggles of San Francisco?
Yeah, it's a huge advantage for the Rams because they have the lowest starting field position for opponents coming off of kickoffs. I'm sure I mostly worded that correctly, but basically, coming off of those, squib kicks by Cardi, those knuckleballs, they've had the worst starting field position of any team in the league, Rams opponents, for the first 4 weeks. And so, you couple that with, I know the Niners are near the bottom with that. And so that's something that could be, a real advantage in that phase for the Rams today. But it's going to take a complementary effort, I would say, in terms of the defense, taking advantage of those, shallow depths, shallow starting field positions, and also just, creating some takeaways.
Make them go the long way.
Exactly.
You spell knuckleball with a K, right? You spell Cardi with a K. It fits. Tim Wakefield in pads. I like it. Yes. Absolutely. And I do like the fact that you actually kicked a PAT without it being blocked. That's good. That's progress. So the Niners are going to test you there as well.
Going for a fourth consecutive win head-to-head against San Francisco. The last time Cardi met the Niners here, of course, had the walk-off winner. All right, let's hit our real deal matchup of the game, delivered by Little Caesars, the official pizza of the LA Rams. This is where we focus on the matchups we find most intriguing. Stu, you want to lead off for us, buddy?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trent Williams and Jared Verse. We'll see how often they line up across from one another on the line of scrimmage, but, that was someone that Jared talked about this week. He's like, basically, look, I'm not going to poke the bear. I'm going to, anybody who's minding their own business over there, somebody of his caliber, like, I'm going to let them be. But, he has mentioned that was, pretty much his toughest matchup that he had as a rookie last year. And so I'm curious to see what he's applied from that matchup going into tonight and how that plays out on the field.
Oh, I got my popcorn for that one. That's going to be an old-fashioned monster movie. Mine's going to be funny, JB. I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford versus Matthew Stafford from last week, the last game. Let's see if he can improve on that.
Okay.
He was great to finish the game. Third corner, kind of a power outage there. Can you remain consistent through the game? Can you play your best game for all 4 quarters? So we've seen some greatness, some flashes of greatness. He is great. Let's see it for all 4 quarters. So Stafford versus Stafford this week.
I'm going to finish with Puka, but I want to ask you a question first. How do you guard Puka when you have to devote your best defensive back to Devontae Adams?
Look, you do the best you can, and you're going to get run through traffic. You're going to have to fight off blocks. Puka is a balanced breakfast. Really, it's all 4 quarters with him. So, and I think the thing that separates him this year from last year, his hands have improved. There's not a place you can't throw him the football where he can't grab it. And you factor in all that gadget stuff, and he's a hammer in the open field. Yeah, I don't know how you guard him right now.
And that's my matchup to watch. The rookie in the slot is Upton Stout for San Francisco. He's 5'9", $180. He's put some good film down, but he's new to this, and Puka is his biggest challenge yet. The Rams have seen some bigger nickels, but they haven't seen someone like Stout, and conversely, Stout hasn't seen someone like Puka. So I wonder how Robert Saleh, defensive coordinator back in San Francisco, what change-ups he throws at Puka Nacua to prevent him from being the most prolific receiver that he's been through the first month of the season.
We'll see. I mean, look, they're going to present some questions you don't have answers for. And I can tell you what, the easiest way to combat any offense is to take the ball away. So that's what you have to guard against if you're the Rams, and that's what you have to do if you're the Rams defense.
I'm sure we'll all be wrong. It'll have nothing to do with Puka or Stafford. It'll be Kyron Williams for 200 and 40 carries, out-rushing Christian McCaffrey. That's a wrap for the Rams pregame show, delivered by Little Caesars, Rams House. Don't forget to order Little Caesars for the best deals on NFL Game Day. Click on the QR code at the bottom of the screen and enter code RAMS15. That's code RAMS15 at checkout for 15% off your game day order of $15 or more. Terms and conditions may apply. Pizza. Kickoff just after the 5 o'clock hour on Amazon Prime, locally here in LA on Fox 11. For Marco Farr and Stu Jackson, both looking good in their Mr. Cartoon collection. Get it right now.
Love the hat.
We keep aging but getting flyer by the day. Thanks to all the great merch. Enjoy the game, everyone, and we'll hopefully talk to you atop the NFC West.